Welcome to the Human Spectrum. Thank you for joining me today, November 20th, 2024. I told you guys in the last video, either before or just after the hearing, I'd do another video, and I'm here doing another video after the hearing to give you my thoughts. Most of you, I'm assuming, saw the UAP hearing in Congress. For those of you that have not, go ahead and take a look at it. It's all over YouTube or your favorite video platform. You'll find it on those. So a couple of takeaways before I get into the hearing. Number one, I don't know what the NASA guy was doing there. I don't know what the point of it was. If there was any point at all to be made by that man, he was very happy to talk about all the technical terms and all the good things that NASA has done for us. And while that may be true up until the mid-90s, in my opinion, and then the big announcement with that panel and the astronaut there saying that NASA is going to be extremely 100% transparent about UAPs, because apparently NASA has their own group working on alongside AIRO, and they said they were going to be transparent about it. I haven't heard anything from NASA, and anytime we do hear anything from NASA, it's still, like always, played down. Now again, I come at this with a skeptical mind, but I also come with it with an open mind, so I don't want anybody to misunderstand me in any way. The whole idea of this channel is to learn about UAPs, why they're becoming more frequent, also paranormal activity that might be related to UAPs. I don't know if you've read Lou Elizondo's book, Imminent. I have. It's a very interesting read. I know he had to get clearance for a lot of it, but man, they let a lot through. So if you haven't read that book yet, go ahead and read it. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot he's talking about in there. Just like that last interview that I showed you where they asked Lou Elizondo, do you know of anything that has like an asteroid or anything that may be artificial coming our way within a 10-year period? Everybody's thinking 2027, but he kind of corrected him on that, and he said, yes, I do know about it. No, I can't talk about it. And and on other interviews he said that no, it's not about 2027, but he did not deny the 10-year span of this so-called object that everybody's talking about on social media, that the James Webb Telescope has spotted, that is course correcting and still heading toward Earth. Basically meaning it's heading this way supposedly at 1 light year speed. I don't know if it's per hour or what. I'll have to look at the details. But if that's the case, it's course correcting, and when it's done course correcting, it's still aiming toward Earth. And they found out about it so many years back. I don't know if it was 2015, 2016, or if it was 2018 through 2020. So it's either 2026, 2027, or 2029 to 2031 is my best estimate. Either way, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like they found something. And I think the university in Oxford that runs the Breakthrough Listen program is also looking into this, on top of looking into Breakthrough Listen 1, which is their current favorable candidate for a signal that they found back in the 90s. And I spoke about this in my prior videos. So the hearing, I think, was decent. I didn't expect to be any shock and awe moments, because obviously they can only say so much in the public arena. And if you notice, aside from the NASA guy, like Admiral Gaudet and Lou Elizondo, when they were asked certain questions, it was either I'm not cleared, or I'm not the one to give you the answer on that, or they do have the answer and they said we can talk about this in a closed setting. So I was expecting that. I'm sure those of you who have already seen the hearing expected the same too. So there was no shock and awe, but they did confirm one thing, and that came from Lou Elizondo. And he did confirm on television, based on his running the ATIP program, that we are not alone. And what that means, I couldn't give you a definitive answer, but I know when he talks about it, especially in other podcasts, especially on the theories of everything, where the guy asked him, if you were able to tell the world what you knew, how do you think the world would react? And he would go on and say, the first thing would be somber. The whole world would have to take a breath, a sigh. I mean, those are powerful words as a follow-up to that question from the theories of everything. So that's stuck in my head pretty much the whole time I've been doing this podcast. So I like the way the congressmen and congresswomen pounded out those questions for him, and I know they were trying to dig as deep as they could and try to get out as much as they could on camera. But again, a lot of times they talked about it's got to be done in a closed session, in a SAP even, special access, or a SCIF rather, to talk about SAPs, special access programs. So the only thing I got out of that was, and I know that Mace was told by Luna that if I say these two words, I might be on some list somewhere. Well, I'll tell you what, I said those words three videos back. Immaculate Constellation. Whether it's true or not, whether there is a platform that's called that, I don't know. But based on my research, there seems to be some kind of platform to that effect. And if you're not familiar with that platform, I'll repeat it again. It's a platform that can cover anything from far out in space to our near space, to the ground, all the way underwater. And apparently the system is very, very sophisticated. If it truly indeed exists, it's supposed to be very sophisticated. The problem is the Congress has no idea it exists. And if they are using our tax dollars, now I'm not going to get into whatever other people are talking about. They talk about the ways they have been using reverse engineered aircraft to go and do bad things. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm certainly not going to get into it. That's not why I'm here. But I'm looking at it from a constitutional side. If they are running programs that are very sophisticated and they're not reporting back to Congress, who oversee this and give them their budgetary expenditures and money, there's a problem. If Congress knows about it and they're not telling their constituents, that's an even bigger problem, because that's our money. This is our Constitution. They're representing us. But I sort of lean more toward, I don't think Congress is getting all the information. Maybe a select few, and maybe those select few are trying to side with parts of the DoD and private sector to keep this quiet for whatever reason, or for a certain amount of time. Because based on what I'm seeing, since 2017, they're letting little bits come out. And not that it makes me nervous, but it makes me my eyes wide open on this, because why are you letting this stuff come out now? Just in the last, 6 years. And then you were talking about the James Webb Telescope that apparently found an object that's course correcting, possibly artificial, coming our way. What does that mean? If it's true, I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a lot of talk about it on social media. So hence I bring it up and I discuss it, and I'd like your comments on that. What do you think about all this talk about James Webb spotting something, and is it related to BLC1, Breakthrough Listen 1, which Oxford were based in Oxford, and they're working on that. And I do have something here I want to show you really quick in a little while. But before we get to all the videos I want to show you and a couple of excerpts that I found, I just wanted to give you a little bit of what I thought about the hearing, and that's my take. And the NASA guy, I really don't know why he was there. He seemed very excited about NASA itself, that was supposed to be transparent, or is supposed to be transparent. I haven't seen any drop of transparency. So, I mean, NASA is great. I mean, they do a lot of good work, a lot of good things, and they have a lot of good people there. But if you're going to just hide stuff from the public just the way all these other agencies might be, or DOD and private sector, then, I think it's a shame, because we have a right to know what's going on. If it has to do with protecting our country, I understand that you have to keep that quiet, because obviously we don't want our adversaries taken from us and using what we have against us, which has been done in the past, whether it's by leaks or by hacks. So we're going to get into the rest of this stuff on the backside, so stand by, and we're going to get into the human spectrum. All right. So, like I was saying, that was my take on the hearing, and obviously, if you watched it, and I'm sure a lot of you agree with me. If you don't, leave me a comment. I don't think it was anything shock and awe spectacular. But what I will know out of that whole hearing, and this goes back to where I think things are purposely being dripped out so that we're not in shock by the time they're ready to tell us something. That's my opinion. You can let me know what yours is in the comments. Lou Elizondo, and if you haven't read his book, you have to. How he cleared half that stuff is amazing to me. Makes me think that DOD wanted certain things cleared. But the one thing he did say at the hearing, in front of all the cameras in public, he was very, very adamant and in saying that we're not alone. So that's interesting, and that's powerful. And how does it relate to this finding with the James Webb Telescope? Well, we're going to look at a little funny video, kind of a funny video, where this guy is talking to Alexa. And for those of you who have it, if you don't know any better, you can change the name. These people changed the name to Ziggy, I think it was. So we're going to go on to this little quick video that I found, and although they might find it a little funny, based on, they're going to ask a question about the James Webb Telescope, and they're going to get an answer based on booksomething.io. So let's have a look, and we'll see you on the backside.
Ziggy. Something. Yes. Can you say it again? Ziggy, what did the James Webb Telescope detect was heading towards Earth?
An asteroid.
From getbook.io. The James Webb Telescope had spotted an armada of alien ships heading toward Earth at near light speed.
Sure.
What are we gonna do?
I'm more concerned about Apophis You know, on Sunday there's gonna be a mini moon.
An Apophis?
There's
A mini moon. Say more.
Apophis is a different. There's a asteroid that is going to come within the moon's gravitational orbit. So there's going to be essentially like a mini moon next to the moon on Sunday.
Will we be able to see it?
Yeah.
It's like not gonna.
You can see the moon.
Obviously, we would hear about, near death.
And then in like 2029, there's an asteroid called Apophis that is going to come so close to the Earth that it will be in between the like SpaceX satellites and the Earth.
Damn. So in like 5 years?
Yeah. I don't know if it's the same one or not, but
Well.
Now, as happy and as nice as that family looked, obviously Alexa or Ziggy, whatever they changed the name to, did give an answer. I didn't actually see the box or the cone or whatever shape Alexa is now, but it sounded like the voice. So I don't know. If that was the voice, that's pretty shocking to hear, I think. If it's real, it's shocking. But they're basing it off one website. And you heard the name of it in the beginning. And, the guy thought it was about Apophis, that's supposed to come very close to Earth, or I don't know. There's a lot of stuff around Apophis that I'm not sure about. Some people say it could hit Earth, but I don't think it will. But it's supposed to be, at the very least, I don't know how many lunar distances, but it's going to be close. A close shave for Earth, I think, with Apophis. But I don't know. I wanted to show you that, although it's, they're having a little fun with it. They asked a serious question, and if that was indeed Alexa, that was a very serious answer. But again, I thought it would be fun just to show you that. Doesn't mean that's what's happening. I don't know if there's an armada of ships coming this way, and let's say there was, and Lulizando's right, we already have non-human intelligence here, which is he's already said. He was cleared to say it, which is interesting in itself. But what does that have to do with, it reminds me of that show Colony. If you haven't seen Colony, you got to watch it. There's only 3 seasons. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen to us if you've already watched it. I'm just saying it almost looks like the setup before it happens. So, and if you've watched Colony, you get what you know what I'm talking about. So, all right, we're going to move on to this next video. I'm going to tell you right off the bat. There's either a teenager or slightly younger who has a little bit of a foul mouth, but we can throw it up here just so you can. I'm not going to bleep it out because you should hear the whole context of it. I believe in showing you the whole thing. So let's get into that video. And the reason why I'm showing you this video is because the person that posted it, underneath it or above that video, he said this is in some way a part of Immaculate Constellation. So I don't know if it's an apparatus of it, or if they're saying, if he means Immaculate Constellation system platform is capturing that object. So I don't know which one it is. Let's take a look at the video, and you can leave me a comment and you let me know if you think if it's a part of the platform, or as far as collecting information, or if you think the platform, if it exists, is capturing this object. So let's take a look at that video right now.
What the fuck? Oh my god! What the fuck? Tata! Tata! Teraz sнимай! Моля ваша телефон! Eno ga! What the fuck, Nestor?
Now, if you noticed, I didn't let it play all the way through, only because the rest of the way through he's he doesn't get another capture like he does in the first 10 seconds. So I just kept bringing it back to show you the close-up that he was able to achieve, which he did very well. And someone needs to wash that boy's mouth out with soap. But yeah, I wanted to show you that video and get your opinion in the comments. Do you think that was possibly a part of a possible program called Immaculate Constellation as an asset, or do you think it's something that this system captured? So that's basically what the couple of sentences were above that video. So let me know what you think in the comments. Now this last video is pretty interesting. This one is in Puerto Rico, and it's at a base in Puerto Rico. It's actually, I think it's the second largest base in Puerto Rico. And this video is, and again, I'm not sure if it's on the platform or not, but I do know it's an IR, infrared, and it's at ground level. I'm assuming it means it's on a tower of some kind. So nobody's talking in this video. This is an official release. I got this from Mr. Greenwald, and he just acquired it literally like 2 days ago. So, and I imagine this video you're about to see is going to be going around everywhere. So let's take a look at that. A little longer, but definitely worth watching, because you're about to see how it does two different things. And let's see if you can catch it. And here we go. So if you caught it, then you know that obviously this thing started just like it has. It's the same shape. Looks like a big round cylinder, and it's going over a base in Puerto Rico with impunity. And I noticed on the video it said IR again, infrared, and ground based. Whether or not it's a part of this possible so-called system that we talked about earlier, I don't know. But since this video was freshly obtained by Mr. Greenwald, I got a copy of it and I wanted to show it to you. And I do believe this video is going to start circulating around a lot. So yeah, this is out of a Puerto Rico base. I think the second largest one there. And if you notice, this thing actually went under the water. So now we're talking from unidentified flying object in the air, relatively close to the tops of buildings, going to turning into a USO. So if you ask me, that's a pretty amazing video, and professionally caught what looks like a military system of some sort. So let me know what you think. You're probably going to be seeing more of this video, and I had to show it to you because it's the latest in a line of videos that has been released, or I don't know how he obtained it, but it looks like a government video. So definitely something interesting, how it goes over the entire base, goes back out into the water, kind of dips in there, and if you notice, it doesn't lose any velocity. It's just amazing. I mean, if that's our tech or an adversarial tech, it's amazing tech. That's like something 100 years or more in the future. Who knows? Maybe more. I don't know. I am learning along with you. So leave me your thoughts and comments on anything you saw today. Let me know what you thought of the hearing. I kind of brushed off the NASA guy, not trying to be mean about him, but he was just very happy-go-lucky about supporting NASA and all the great things they do, which I found no relevance in the whole thing, because this was about, you know, our Department of Defense, you know, having to be put in check to make sure that checks and balances are in place. Because if you have a black program, even if it's a program to see things from space to the water, then you should be telling Congress about it. And I say, if Congress does know about it and they're not telling their constituents, it's either for two reasons. Either it's because it's so sensitive that they don't want it to get out, and it has to do with our security. And as most of you who have been watching my videos, you know I'm a big proponent of our security. I really don't want to release or have our government or Congress release anything that our adversaries can get a hold of and use against us. Absolutely not. But I do think, like the way Elizondo came out and said, we are not alone. That's obviously been confirmed by a person who ran ATIP. And if a man of that stature, I believe the question was asked in a different manner to all of them. There was a lot of I don't knows, but with Lou Elizondo, it was for sure, we're not alone. So I'd like to know how we're not alone. And obviously there are more cases in Brazil, and I thought that the program, which is a documentary by James Fox, was going to be out October 23rd. I stand corrected. Apparently there's an issue on which platform he wants to put that on. So negotiations are still taking place. So right now you can see the program standing by on your television, or maybe you don't see it there yet, but they're waiting to see who's going to pick it up, whether it's Netflix, Paramount, whoever. You kind of get what I mean. So either way, they said before the end of the year we'll be able to see the program. and that's going to show a lot. This is a guy who's covered the Brazilian stories, and even in Lua Elizondo's book, he talks about a Brazilian general and these people who saw these orbs come down out of the sky and actually, what they called, zap them, but it actually looked like it sucked blood out of them to take a sample. Very interesting stuff. But I'll find out more information. Yes, I do still have that interview coming up. I need to get some RSS feeds in place before I can put it up here on YouTube. And if any of you out there are extremely knowledgeable in this subject, or I'm just learning more and more about it, feel free to contact me. My email, it'll be in the description, and I'll be happy to do an interview with you until my other ones line up. So yeah, subscribers, viewers, I'll interview you. We'll throw on Zoom and we'll talk about it. And again, I appreciate you watching today. That's all I have. I'll have a little more for you. I'm digging into a few other things, and I'm going to keep working on some more stuff regarding UAP and some new paranormal stuff that might be related to it. There was one other thing I wanted to mention before I go. I'm going to share my screen real quick. And right here was posted by, hopefully you can see it. There, I think you can see it now. Alright, so it says right here, this was posted by J.H. McCabe on X, and he goes on to say, biotechnosignature confirmations have to be real close to going public. There's probably a paper on the findings sitting in a holding pattern, waiting on the peer review process too. So I think what he's trying to say right there is, if you remember, we were talking about Breakthrough Listen 1 out of Oxford, and how the European agency, last time I spoke, was really taking a shine to this this subject regarding Breakthrough Listen 1, which is, if you haven't been following, it's basically 1 out of 5 signals that stood out in the 90s through SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, and one really stuck, and I think they're waiting for that peer-reviewed paper to come out solid before they make any announcements that it was actually from artificial origins other than Earth, or cell towers, or cell signals. And I think they're very close to doing that. I've spoken about Mr. Holland, who does videos almost every day, and Simon Holland, who is also a producer and for documentaries and stuff, did documentaries for NASA and the like. But Simon Holland's always on YouTube, and he's been keeping up on this Breakthrough Listen 1 and among other things. So check him out if you want to learn more about that. It's basically the stuff they found in the 90s, excuse me, and how they're implementing it into our new technology in 2024. And I guess they're waiting for that final peer review paper before they make any announcements regarding that Breakthrough Listen 1. And if they do end up making an announcement about it, I have a feeling it's going to be very interesting. So, you know, I'll keep you up to date on that. So that's all I have for today, and I thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And from the human spectrum, you have a good day or good night wherever you are. Take care, everybody.